holiday Hanukkah begins today at sundown, as we've been telling you. The 8-day celebration, also known as the Festival of Lights, commemorates the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem. The lighting of a menorah or menorah candles is a crucial aspect of Hanukkah. It symbolizes the triumph of light over darkness and freedom over justice. And joining us now is Rabbi Levi Greenberg. Thank you so much for joining us, of the Chabad Lubavitch of El Paso. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us, how do you celebrate today at sundown?
Well, Maria, it's wonderful to be with you once again as we start the holiday. And as you mentioned, the main ritual and the mitzvah of the holiday is the lighting of the menorah. And tonight we will light one candle. The middle candle is the candle that lights all of the other ones. So tonight is the first night, and we start off by lighting one candle. And tomorrow night we are going to light 2 candles. And the message is that if you lit one candle and you brought some light into the world, the next day God gives you another day, you have to bring more light into the world. In acts of goodness and kindness, we must grow exponentially. The menorah actually commemorates a miracle that occurred over 2,000 years ago in the land of Israel. The ancient Assyrian Greek Empire invaded the Jewish land of Israel and effectively tried to assimilate all of the Jews in the area to become more like the Greeks. And to put it mildly, they were not very successful. They effectively took control of the temple, they shut it down and ransacked it, until finally a small group of Jews, famously known as the Maccabees, took initiative and they started a revolt, and miraculously they were victorious. When they regained control of the temple, they rededicated it, and they were looking for some ritually pure oil. They only found enough for one night, and it would take them 8 days and nights to produce more oil. So they decided to light up the menorah, and miraculously that little jug of oil that was meant to last only one night lasted for 8 days. So for this reason, every year on that anniversary we light a candelabra, a menorah, for 8 days, for 8 evenings, to commemorate that miracle of the oil.
And education is an important part, an important aspect of Hanukkah,
Absolutely.
right?
In fact, Hanukkah in Hebrew comes from the same word as education, chinuch. And it's interesting that Hanukkah is the only holiday that has a game that is very much connected to the holiday. It's the game of dreidel, which is Yiddish for a top, a spinning object. In Hebrew they call it sevivon. And the reason for that is because under the oppression and persecution of the ancient Greek Empire, they effectively shut down Jewish education. But the children would have nothing of it, and so they hid out in the caves with their teacher, and they would study. But when the Greek soldiers would come to check up on them to see what they are doing, they would immediately put the scrolls aside and take out a top and start playing with it. So effectively the game of top is what protected the Jewish education of the time. And therefore on Hanukkah, when we celebrate the miracle of the lights and the miracle of Jewish education, the perseverance of Jewish education, we play with the top. And it's a very interesting top because it has 4 letters, 4 Hebrew letters on each side. There's a nun, a gimel, a hey, and a shin. And these 4 letters are the first letters of 4 words that spell out the sentence Nes Gadol Haya Sham, which means a great miracle happened there in Israel.
Right.
And in Israel they substitute the shin for a pei, which effectively means a great miracle happened here. In Israel they commemorate the miracle that happened at that place.
Yeah, so a lot to teach your children, a lot to teach people during this time. Thank you for coming and sharing this with us.
Thank you for having us. I would like to let everyone know that tonight the holiday begins in just a few minutes. So you can take out your menorah and light one candle with the proper blessings. And at 7:30 we'll be having a public menorah lighting at Chabad Lubavitch, 6615 Westwind Drive. I encourage all of you to join us as we usher in the holiday with a public menorah lighting. State Representative Joe Moody will be in attendance, and I encourage all of you to join us.
Okay, and tell us the address one more time.
6615 Westwind Drive.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us, Rabbi. We appreciate it. We'll be right back.